Hello, Dr. Carrie Hepburn here, and I am quickly going to share with you some work that I am doing. I am helping a group of sixth grade teachers prepare for their Illinois assessment, so their high stakes assessment, IAR. And in that, I'm sharing with them how they can utilize their comprehensive standards guides to support their high stakes assessment. And then also reminding them that we've been doing a lot of this work throughout the school year. So trying to hurry up and cram things in is not really necessary because we can just remind kids of things that we've been doing all year long. So let's get started. I will start by sharing my desktop. It is a disaster. And what you're going to see here are released items from the IAR test. So the Illinois State Board released these items. And then I will pull up the Comprehensive Standard Guide for Reading Literature Standard 6.3. As you can see, again, the standards all unpacked. All of the vocabulary terms are defined. We have our objectives, and then this is the tool that we're going to use today, which is the learning progression. So this is really the thing that everyone loves. They do love the proficiency scales as well, but the learning progressions are what we use to help build our, to assess kids in the moment, and then to design our instruction. So as we looked through this particular question, what you're going to notice that students are reading two passages, and then they'll be writing an essay about how these characters change, and they'll be using these questions to guide their writing. So one of the things that we do, we and have been doing is setting kids up all year long to be able to write an essay. But something that gets forgotten a lot is that we have to set kids up as readers and gathering the evidence that they need in order to write the essay, which is why I chose standard RL 6.3. And this particular standard talks about characters, right? And so this is going to be about how are the characters changing? Well, this particular standard is how do the characters respond or change as the plot moves forward toward resolution? So when you work with our comprehensive standards guides and you work with our progressions, what you know is that we have a strong vertical alignment from kindergarten through grade 12, right, in English language arts. So some of the skills that you'll see early on are skills that students should already have mastered, but if they haven't, we need to be setting them up for success. So first thing they need to be able to do is be able to read closely, right? And when they read closely, we need them to identify characters, setting, and events and have a way to record information while they're reading. Well, something I think that we forget often is that we have to teach students how to take notes so that they can be recording that information. So with this particular school, we've been utilizing a couple of different resources to teach students how to take notes. Many of you already know of the Jennifer Saravallo Reading Strategies book, right? There's lots of different ways that we can teach students to take notes out of that book. We also bring in other note-taking strategies like sketch notes, boxes and bullets, like depending on the things. But this is often the thing that we forget about to teach kids reading closely and how to record it based on the standard that we're asking them to do. Those strategies. Another thing that we do is we pull out of Academic Conversations, this book, and we teach students how to have collaborative conversations regarding what they're reading so that they can record information while they're reading, or they use that recorded information while they're reading so they can discuss things that are farther along the progression. It takes some thinking and learning design, but when you can start thinking how students progress and setting students up for success, answering questions and writing literary essays gets easier and easier. So What we're doing is as we go in to meet with the students, we're going to remind them that when they come across a question like this, that they can use the strategies that we've been teaching them about describing a character setting or event, or how a character responds, or describing that series in an event so that they can do this. We're going to remind them that they need to remember that they read closely and record that information, and they know how to gather that. If you're looking for some different places to find really great strategies to teach so that you can ensure that your students are feeling confident in answering these questions, again, we do utilize this book a lot. We use this to design learning experiences that we ensure they're aligned with their standards. And we use that in small groups. We pull this book out a lot because it helps us build collaborative conversation opportunities with our kids that are academic, and it really helps set them up for success. And what we know is if students can think it and they can speak it, it helps them write it. So we really have to work hard on bringing more conversation where kids are talking about it, not us asking a question and one or two students answering. They all need to be in collaboration discussing. Another really great book that you can use to help um, with teaching kids strategies. We use this Strategies for Close Reading, the Notice and Notebook by Kylene Beers and Robert Probst all the time. This is a great book. It's an older book. Many people have read it before, you can see, but we pull this out often. So I hope you can see how our comprehensive standards guides can support your high stakes assessment um, learning, and how it doesn't have to just be at test prep time. This can be something that you're doing all year long. And we use these all the time, not only for whole group, but we use them in small group, responsive teaching, in response to intervention, or MTSS time. Have a great day.